Hi everybody. I am prefacing this video that I didn't think would end up existing on my channel. For a game demo that, at first attempts, multiple attempts off stream, didn't seem like it was going to cooperate. I was getting tons of pop-out and pop-in of architecture all over the place in, like, the very first scene of the Onimusha Way of the Sword demo. But Friday night, when I was streaming a couple of other demos that didn't really work out terribly well for me, I ended up throwing this on anyway, just to show people, like, well, this is what I was gonna attempt to play on stream, but it wasn't gonna work. And then lo and behold, it actually worked. Like, it didn't cause any visual glitches for me when I was streaming. So I don't know how that one works, because I tested it twice earlier that day, and it did not seem like it was going to work. So I'm level setting here because I came into this playthrough not thinking it was going to happen. So if I seem a little... There are a couple of reasons that coming into the playthrough of this demo, I may have seemed a little, like, biased negatively than usual. Part of that has to do with, like, impressions, what first impressions I was already getting from this game, and part of that was just from, like, the trailers I had seen when this was first announced, because when Onimusha Way of the Sword was first announced, it honestly seemed like I was suspecting they were going to make a Souls-like. They did not make a Souls-like, but it looks very Souls-like, and it feels very Souls-like in some aspects, in some respects. And as a result of that, it also does not feel very much like an Onimusha game. So that's something that you will hear me get into through the main part of this video. The other reason that I am prefacing the main part of this video is I literally forgot to look at the store page, because again, I came into it thinking I wasn't really going to get to show off the demo. An Oni gauntlet-wielding samurai makes a stand in Kyoto against the encroaching Genma menace. Through gritty, blood-soaked brawls, he searches for his reason to fight. What fate awaits at the end of his path? So that's another thing, is when I first saw the trailer to this, I'm pretty sure I saw some of the voice lines they were giving the main character, and he just doesn't really come off as a good Onimusha protagonist. He's a very unwilling protagonist, and, like, honestly, like, he just comes off as very deadpan, very I'm not getting paid enough for this shit. And also, honestly, some of his facial expressions make him look a little too much like Jimmy Fallon, which also doesn't go anywhere towards balancing in my favor. I mean, like, look at that. Anyway, let's look at the rest of the store page here. This is coming out September 25th, 2026. I have no plans to buy it anyway, because it's going to have Denuvo, which you can actually see right up here. So I was going to play this demo anyway, because I wanted to see... Back when I played Devil May Cry 5, I was floored by that game, because it managed to do pretty damn well at being a Devil May Cry game, while also being, like, a revamped presence on the RE engine, and I thought to myself then, it would be awesome if we got a legit Onimusha game on this engine. This is it. So, like, I'm trying the demo anyway because I wanted to see how that panned out. But they've taken this in a very different direction. So I'm not all that disappointed that I will probably never be able to buy this, because I refuse to buy games that treat their owners, the people that buy them, their consumers, as criminals, which is what DRM does. And Capcom has been dying on that hill for multiple years now. So it's their funeral. Anyway, down to the rest of the about this game. An all-new entry in the Onimusha series, yeah, all new in many respects. Fight through blood-stained battlefields of intense swordplay action. Explore the historic Japanese capital of Edo period Kyoto, twisted by malevolent clouds of malice. With every stage cloaked in mystery, danger, and intrigue. That's not a full sentence. That's a capital letter starting the sentence. That's a period ending the sentence. That's not a sentence. Battle against... Like, yeah, no, that's not a sentence. I'm double-checking it. Battle against monstrosities from the underworld known as Genma in a tale of dark fantasy. Follow the tale of a samurai who wields the Oni Gauntlet, a mystical artifact that grants its bearer the power to slay Genma. through gritty, blood-soaked... Have they said blood-soaked and gritty enough fucking times yet? Like, they're very much trying to be a fucking Souls-like, but it's not a Souls-like. Which has Souls-like players disappointed all over the frickin' discussion boards, too, because the Souls-like players expected a harder game. This game is much more forgiving than that. What fate awaits at the end of this path? Disappointment. Spoiler warning, it's disappointment. That's what it waits at the end of the path. The protagonist, Miyamoto Musashi, an ardent samurai who arrives in Kyoto looking to prove that he is unmatched in the way of the sword. However, the path before him takes a strange and unexpected turn. The protagonist of this game is a fierce young samurai, constantly moving from... You're repeating yourself. Constantly moving from one bloody and gritty fight... Again, bloody and gritty. Did they make a fucking AI write this shit? Like, this is pathetic. To cement his image of a striking samurai, Capcom has turned to none other than the late iconic Japanese samurai movie legend Toshiro Mifune to star as the face model for this rendition of Miyamoto Musashi. Okay, so one, it's not Jimmy Fallon, I was wrong. But two, you're having a dead guy portray serve as the face model? That sounds like the kind of awful shit that AI bros are doing, trying to bring people back from the dead. Like, did the family agree to this? I mean, I could get, like, doing it based on, like, previous works of that person and not, you know. It's not quite as morbid as I make it out to be, but still, it feels a little bit iffy. To say the least. Action. Equipped with an Oni gauntlet, Musashi is granted power beyond human limits, besides giving him the strength needed to cut down the Genma. Now, look... Alright, look at this animation here. This is making the game look faster paced than it actually feels to play in, like, just the regular, going through the regular motions of the game. Because this is chaining Isens, which Isens were always chainable in Onimusha, and they were even faster than this, because they would just be boom, boom, boom. Like, there would be no animations in between. It would just be, like, it would, like, set against, like, a black background, and it would just be, like, there's one chain, there's another chain, there's another chain, and then, like, time would kind of, like, stop, and then time would resume, and, you know, it would be like the freaking badass samurai shit, where, like, you know, you slice through multiple enemies, and then time resumes, and they actually fall over. So, like, even though this looks fast and furious, which, like, it's faster than most of the action in the demo, it's still not even as fast as the equivalent to this in the old Onimusha games. It also holds numerous other abilities, such as being able to absorb Genma souls and convert them into a power source to further enhance its wearer. But who is behind the voice that rings out from the gauntlet? Oh yeah, by the way, the gauntlet can fucking talk. That was never a thing before. Pretty sure that was never a thing. Although, which is not to say that you didn't have, like, talking allies in the earlier Onimusha games, so I do have to admit that much, but it's like, no, the gauntlet can fucking talk. Genma. Usually found dwelling in the lowest depths of hell, the malice enveloping Kyoto has brought these fiends into the world of the living. Their ceaseless atrocities have plunged the capital into a state of dread and panic. And, like, they even look significantly different, and, like, we'll see when you watch me play the demo, like, the way they introduce just the basic Genma feels more like Resident Evil than Onimusha. And, like, you can kind of get that even from how they look here. Like, yes, they still have the hats. Yes, they still have, like, arguably, you can tell, you can see the ties to the old Onimusha, but this is very different than the old Onimusha. Like, again, they're trying to go for, like, the whole gritty thing, which Onimusha sorta did, but sorta didn't do. Formidable foes. In his battle against the Genma threat, Musashi will face powerful opponents whose martial prowess rivals his own. Will he triumph or die trying? Bloody duels to the death await in the capital. By the way, bloody, again. I'm surprised they didn't use, like, the fucking Bloodborne, you know, what's the name of the mechanic in that? I'm totally spacing out on it now. Where you, like, gain health back by slashing enemies and whatnot. I'm surprised they didn't go full Bloodborne on this, given how many times they've said bloody and gritty in the frickin' store page. This game is set in Kyoto, home to countless shrines and temples, such as Kiyomizu Dera Temple. Twisted by malice, the fate of the capital starts to take on an eerie and foreboding appearance. And they do go for eerie and foreboding. My concern is that sometimes that amounts to very drab-looking and visually uninteresting when you're on the RE engine. Other games on the RE engine are able to do things that look really interesting. And it seems weird that they made Onimusha, of all things, which had some of the most colorful presentation of Capcom games, go in completely the other direction. And I mean, like, there's a little bit of color here and there in this, but, like, you can tell it's intentionally, like, sort of subtle and subsumed by the mist and the malice and whatnot. Content is also available as part of one or more bundles. Please check your previous purchases to avoid duplication. That's kind of nice of them to actually say, like, hey, you should check for bundles. Mature content description. This game may contain content not appropriate for all ages or may not be appropriate for viewing at work. Frequent violence or gore. General mature content. Okay, the most generic possible message there. What bundles is this actually available? I just see pre-purchase stuff. I don't see bundles. What are they talking about? Unless they're talking about the frickin' deluxe edition and shit. I don't know. Because, like, it's not... I don't see any bundles bundling it with, like, the other HD remasters that are available. Which, by the way, used to not have... At least I know for sure the first HD remaster of Onimusha 1 did not have DRM in it. But they added DRM. This is how far up their own asses Capcom are about DRM. They've literally added it to games that didn't have it. Which is pretty ass backwards of what companies usually do. Anyway, I won't get into the system requirements because I kind of look at those later. But it is laughable that they have this huge disclaimer that 30 FPS gameplay can be achieved on the low graphics preset at 1080p using upscaling. So they don't even guarantee that you can get true 1080p 30 frames per second with the specs that they list here. That's pretty fucking pathetic. And that's the case for minimum, and then for recommended, the same spiel, but for medium preset. But yeah, I will say there are plenty of options in this game. The option menus are pretty comprehensive. There's some good accessibility settings. There's some good settings for turning off things people might find annoying. So, like, it's clearly high effort. It's just tragically scatterbrained, I feel like. Anyway, I talk about that later in the video, so I don't want to get too repetitive of that, but there's the level setting. I'm happy I did manage to play the demo, against all odds, given that the game did not work well for me when I first tested it. Pleasantly surprised that I did get to play the whole thing. So, first of all, this is the message I get when I first start this up, and it might explain why the game looks so glitchy for me. The current version of your graphics card driver does not meet the minimum requirements for playing this. This may prevent the game from running properly. Please install the latest drivers. I am running the driver that Debian has in their package manager for the latest release of Debian. That is version 550, which is admittedly kind of old. But given how many times that I heard that, like, the 580 plus drivers were just getting more and more flaky, I'm not really against staying on an old version of the NVIDIA driver. This is the first time I've played something that's actually given me an issue because of that. Let me see if there's anything in their requirements about driver version. I was wondering if this would mention driver version, but it doesn't. Oh well. Because I would be curious what it considers sufficiently new driver version. And then they have a flashing light warning. Differs in some regards to the full game. Basic controls features have been implemented. It said something about a bonus that I didn't get time to read. Not guaranteed to reflect the performance of the full game. They say they'll have a separate benchmark program, which I think Capcom has done that for other stuff before. And this is on the RE engine, which, like, back when I finished Devil May Cry 5, which was awesome, although, admittedly, I was playing it in Windows, When I finished that, I was like, dude, I want to see an Onimusha game in the RE engine, because we haven't had an Onimusha game in freaking 20 years or something, and, well, wasn't quite that long, but pretty close. And given how good of a job they did on DMC5, where it felt like a DMC game, but it looked like, you know, next level, if they could have done that with Onimusha, I would be extremely happy about it, but this is not that. So, I'll show you what it starts to look like, but, it's gonna start glitching out really heavily. I'll warn you of that up front. Did I put this down to low settings, or did I keep it on medium? This does have a ton of options, I'll give it that. Like, this is the exact opposite of Izon in that regard. This was probably on low. Because the thing is, like, this cannibalizes my graphics card while I'm stream encoding. Whether I have it on low or medium. I think it's still I think it doesn't drop frames from the stream encoding. But it absolutely, takes my graphics card for a ride. But yeah, so, like, the other weird thing is, like, the upscaling says AMD. I don't have an AMD anything in this computer, so why is it trying to use AMD FSR? That doesn't make sense to me. I have an NVIDIA card. So I was like, I'm not even sure to take it seriously at that rate in terms of, like, your video card drivers are too old. It's like, are you even detecting them correctly? So here's your render scale, and, like, here's your... Yeah, like, if I turn that on... Improve graphical quality without compromising game performance, but I don't know if that's actually going to work. And I also don't know if it'll avoid the graphical glitches. We could maybe try that. I wouldn't hold my breath. One thing I like is there's actually an option to shorten the hold to confirm things so that they take less time. So they do have a story focus. And then they have action, which is combat focus. But then people were apparently complaining that that wasn't hard enough, because basically people saw this and thought it looked like Sekiro. And so they expected Sekiro, but there's two problems with that. One, this is not balanced like a Souls-like, but two, they did try to make it look enough like a Souls-like that, like, people are going to get the wrong idea from it. Even, including me, when I saw the trailer for this, like, last year or whatever, when it was announced, I was like, oh no, they're making Onimusha a Souls-like, the series is dead to me. The thing is, the weird thing is they made it look on the surface like Sekiro in a couple of ways, but it doesn't play like Sekiro either. It doesn't play like Onimusha either. The combat is slow in this. At least at first glance, it feels very slow, and that's not what you would expect from either of those games. So, it just seems like they, you know, it seems like this game was designed by an executive committee of business suits who don't know their ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to video games. Alright, well, let's actually read this. Against his will, Miyamoto Musashi has become an Onimusha, carving a path... So this doesn't start at the beginning. Carving a path through the Genma monstrosities invading the capital, Musashi finds himself at Kiyomizu-dera Temple, where he has been tasked with purifying the Ki Sanctuary. A host of eerie phenomena play out before Musashi's eyes as he traverses the twisted, malice-wreathed temple grounds, accompanied only by the mysterious voice that rings out from his Oni Gauntlet. Wait, his Oni Gauntlet speaks to him? I don't think that was a thing in any of the previous Onimusha games. Having defeated the Genma... maybe they don't mean that literally. I hope not, good lord. Having defeated the Genma that stood in his way, Musashi is greeted by a long-standing rival that he has crossed swords with many a time. Yep, alright, commence GPU being cannibalized. So far, initially, this looks okay. Gauntlet lady? Oh god, it really is talking to him, isn't it? So initially, at first glance, this looks okay. I gotta see if I can up the audio, though. Jeez, that was quiet. I already have voice volume basically as high as it can go. I can up master volume. Let's do that. But usually as soon as I get up here, it starts glitching the heck out. Is it not glitching out right now? Is it actually letting me play the game? I just sprinted right before they said that. Yeah, I think the control schemes are preset in this. You can't, like, go off path or anything. Like there. I couldn't just, like, fall to my death. We actually... This looks more like a Resident Evil game. I mean, I know it's on RE Engine and whatnot, but, like, that was literally how Resident Evil 1 began, right? Alright. So, the funny thing, interestingly, it didn't give me the... When you first start the game, it presents you with options for a control scheme. There's 2 control schemes, and literally the only difference is what's on the face buttons and the left bumper. And one of them is called aggressive stance, aggressive scheme or something, and the other is called defensive. And I picked defensive, and literally the only reason why is because in aggressive, the quick attack, you have one-handed attack and two-handed attack. And in aggressive style, for some reason, the one-handed attack is on Y and the two-handed attack is on B. And the X button is parry. Normally, the X button is one of your attack buttons. Like, in 99% of action games I have played, X is your light and Y is your heavy. Well, the defensive stance makes X your light and Y your heavy, but the aggressive stance doesn't do that. The aggressive stance putting parry on X makes it feel like parry is supposed to be like a super high priority thing. Which maybe it is. People did comment on that. And I mean, like, to be fair, Isen was a thing even in the old Onimusha games. And this talks about Isen here, although it's a different kind of Isen. They're talking about break Isen here, which is literally just ripping off either Sekiro or Ghost of Tsushima or both. I forget which one or ones had this. The thing where the red dot appears and then you do the frickin', like, death stab. When their stamina is low, their body will turn red and crack. Depleted stamina will recover over time, so keep a close eye on your opponent if you want to exploit the advantages it offers. So yeah, there's, like, enemy stamina in this. It's also funny how, like, the videos take a moment to load. Alright, let's see how long until the game starts glitching out visually. Red souls. Absorbing red souls will make various enhancement available. They are left behind by fallen enemies, and finishing an enemy with a break Isen will make even more of them appear. Right, that's pretty consistent with old Onimusha games, and they show you sucking it into the gauntlet and whatnot. And then you hold the left trigger to bring them in. Now, here's one of the things that they really, like, break. Notice I can actually, like, open the gauntlet to bring in souls while I'm moving. That was never a thing in any of the other Onimusha games. Like, you had to make a conscious choice to stand still and bring in souls. And if you didn't prioritize bringing them in within a certain amount of time, they would all, like, just vanish. So, like, you had to bring them in if you wanted to, like, you know, get currency for upgrades and get health back or get, like, MP back. I'm very surprised that the game is actually cooperating right now, because this is the most cooperative the game has been all night. Like, I tested it 2 separate times before stream. And it was glitching out royally, visually, but now it's fine? Like, maybe I can actually have a serious go at this. Oh, he does 2 attacks, okay. I didn't do that right. What was that? Yellow... Did I just drop a yellow soul by taking damage? That's fascinating. Yellow souls are sometimes left behind by defeated enemies. Absorb them to restore your health. The lower your health, the more your enemies will leave behind. So, yeah, there's actually, like, a sort of a rubber banding balancing act here, even. So, like, this is where this seems more forgiving than a Souls-like would be. But, like, just look at how slow... Oh my god, dude. Look at how slow the attacking is. And, like, the parry takes forever to recover from it. Y plus B. I don't know what Y plus B does, unless that does that, but I thought that was... didn't require 2 buttons. You heard them unblock it on the other side, and then we were able to open it. I'm so confused that there's no graphical glitches now. Yeah, even just like the whole way that the environment is portrayed in this is very different than any Onimusha game. It's like, sure, there have been Onimusha games that depict, you know, suffering of some sort, but like, the dialogue has never been like super serious and grave and stuff. I mean, I guess there's, you know, there's some emotional storylines in like Dawn of Dreams and stuff, but this is full on like Souls-like amounts of pain and suffering going on. $90. Mild restorative gradually restores health for a short duration. Use item by pressing down. Select item. Oh, okay. Yeah, specifically, there's actually like an icon on the bottom left also. I'm not sure. So there's icons on every corner of the screen in this game also. So I'm kind of half blocking 2 diamond-shaped icons, and I don't know what they are yet. So this just selects item, and then you press down to use it. And then I don't know what the up item was depicted there. And there's no, like, in-game menu available yet. The only menu is the system menu, which is on the back button by default. You can swap those if you want. But that also affects cutscene skip inputs. Alright, I already got myself turned around. Oh, hello, I can talk to you. I'm gonna assume that's referring to something that happened before this that we didn't get to see. Alright, that's where we came in. You also, like, don't stop immediately. Like, your movement has actual momentum. Uh-oh. I feel like we probably don't want to open that. Guy's acting like a real hard ass. Also not what I'm necessarily used to in a Onimusha game. Well, I mean, unless you've got, you know, what was it, Jean Reno from the third one? Wait, you're a friendly. Are they gonna let them in? Can I make them let them in? No, they just closed the door behind me. Screw that one peasant in particular. I can't interact with them at all. Oh, now I can get to the main menu. Okay. Oh, hey, we have a map. That's not a menu, that's a map. Make your way to this... Oh, that's the stage they were talking about. Okay. The stage is set at Kiyomizu. If I knew the game was actually going to behave for me now, given that it hadn't all night, but, you know, before stream when I tried it twice, I would have actually started my timer. I guess I'll put a guesstimate on there. It's been at least 5 minutes. It's been more than that, probably. I'm just gonna... Oh, I need to actually show it again. Hang on. There we go. But yeah, I'm so baffled that the game is actually cooperating now. Although, it remains to be seen if it will end up consuming too much memory. There was a thing on the right-hand side that I don't know what the input was supposed to be for it. Even in terms of visuals, like, it... I mean, I get they're kind of going for, like, a run-down appearance to a certain degree, but, like, you know, it's like there was clearly colorful flora here at some point, but also it's purposefully drab now. But it's like... You know, maybe I have rose-tinted goggles on or something, but from what I remember seeing of people playing other games that this is clearly trying to model itself after visually, it's not really looking nearly as interesting. Yeah, I figured there was going to be a perfect parry. Walking just before an enemy attack lands will trigger a parry. Parrying weapon-based attacks will open up a window of vulnerability. The larger the window, the more impressive effects you'll see. Parry enemy strikes to fill your blaze gauge and enter the blazing state, during which time you will deal greater damage. You will remain in the blazing state until the blaze gauge empties. So blaze gauge is new. I gotta wait for this guy to attack, though. Okay, yeah, that automatically did the thing as soon as the dot was there. I'm not sure if the red gauge is the blaze gauge or if it's something else. Can I actually, like, re-access... Oh, you can zoom out and zoom in, too. Okay. It's really weird that... Oh, I see. Yeah, the map is just one tab, but it's the only tab of the menu, the game menu that's available right now. Oh, you can actually go back and see this. You can dodge an attack and hit back. I never got presented with these, did I? You can dodge an attack and hit back with a deadly counter, but it requires even more precise timing than a parry or a reflex dodge. What's a reflex dodge? They didn't explain reflex dodges. This was the last thing I just saw, and I want... Yeah, so the problem here is they don't show the HUD in these tutorial videos. Oh, but it does show the thing at the bottom right, actually, in this one. So that has something to do with it. That's the blaze meter, then. Okay. But yeah, that's interesting that there's perfect dodging, too. Because I tend to do dodges more in games than parries. But given how slowly things move in this game in general, I would kind of expect it to be more parry-based, really. If you press X or Y right when Isen lands, you can chain it. Huh. Oh, now they're talking about... What? Yeah, why were those other ones in the menu already if they were supposed to come after this one? Press B just before being hit. Because that's my dodge button. Read your opponents to avoid taking damage. You can even add insults. By the way, there's no jumping in this, but I think that was pretty common in Onimusha games. I don't remember if 3 and/or Dawn of Dreams had jumping. But definitely, I'm almost certain nothing before that did, at the very least. And it's possible those didn't either. The interesting thing about Dawn of Dreams was that, like, each character had, like, a specific thing they could do, which actually meant you had movement tech and reasons to revisit areas later. At reducing stamina with a counter after evading an unarmed attack with a reflex dodge, for example. Wait, what do you mean by an unarmed attack, though? So you have to... Wait, oh no, is this actually rock, paper, scissors, where, like, certain attacks are dodgeable and anything with a weapon has to be parried? Fill your reflex gauge. Oh, god. Okay, so reflex is the one on the right side of the bottom right, and blaze is the one on the left side of the bottom right. There's a lot of gauges going on. Press X or Y to unleash a deadly reflex combo. The quickest way to fill it is to reflex dodge unarmed attacks, but any reflex dodge will help at least a little. Oh, so you can reflex dodge other things, judging by that. Oh, I mistimed that. The dodge doesn't feel like much of a dodge. That, yeah, good luck dodging that. Ow. It actually kind of hurt. Oh, yeah, I think there's like a HUD size option, actually, in this. And I might not have turned it up. Yeah, I guess I wasn't gonna save her. Okay, so that was the Y plus B thing. And he's dead. Oh my god, I'm getting hit by everything. I'm not used to having to, like, parry that long in advance. Oh, yeah, I was wondering what I was hearing, slash seeing. Can I deflect that? I'm guessing not. Actually, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, can't you deflect those? I'm gonna die trying to do that. Did he move? He did. He made a mistake by coming off of the... Wait, what? Why did he say, damn it, that hurt? That guy didn't hit me. Oh, hit both of them. Nice. What? Did the other guy hit him? I'm confused. So, not sure if I'm supposed to be able to, like, hit the things next to them somehow. They haven't introduced any way to... I don't trust being able to deflect those with sword attacks. And they're not letting me climb it either. Oh, I don't think that worked, did it? Oh, wait, here we go. I can just go up this way. Lesser Defense Talisman. Reduces health and stamina damage for a short duration. But yeah, the rate at which this game is giving back health is 100% not Souls-like. So, like, the fact that people are getting suckered into playing this, maybe having never played an Onimusha game before, and then saying, hey, this game's too easy. Like, yeah, if you're expecting a Souls-like, because this clearly is trying to look like a Souls-like, and I was even, to the point where I was worried it would be a Souls-like. It's not a Souls-like. And so people expecting one are going to be disappointed. But like I said, I come in expecting an Onimusha game, and I'm also disappointed because it's, like, very slow-paced compared to an Onimusha game. I don't think I ever... I did play through the Onimusha series in, like, 2018 or something. I don't think I ever re-uploaded those. I was definitely not happy with my handling of the end of Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, but legitimately I have no freaking idea how to handle at least one of the attacks the final boss does. It kind of seems like it's just supposed to kill one of your two party members, and that's it. Which just gets really annoying, because he keeps doing it. Hozuki pouch. Hozuki pouches can only hold a limited number of Hozuki, which may be used to restore health, and can be picked up in your travel. Oh, now they're telling me... Now that I could have died 5 times by now if I was really bad. Are those Hozuki plant? Oh, they are. It's even highlighted the way you would see, like, an herb highlighted in a Resident Evil game. And there's, like, white interaction points on the top of it, I think. Alright, so here's the problem. I'm pretty sure there's an option to change this. The problem is, because at least until you learn the game, you're probably going to want it to always show the HUD. Oh yeah, here's HUD size, by the way. We can try turning that to large. The size of button guide information. Sure, let's do that too. Menu text size, I already... That's white as if that was the default. I thought medium was the default. Because the funny thing is, like, it doesn't even change the size of the menu items vertically in the majority part of the menu, so it's like, why wouldn't you just make the large size? Yeah, just make that the size. I don't know. I thought gold meant it was changed, but maybe that only means it's changed from what you currently had selected, because I didn't think large was on here by default. And yeah, there's like motion sickness settings and stuff, which so far I haven't found this too bad on that front, but then I'm not super sensitive to that. Turn action prompts on or off in battle when enemies attack. What is this? I'm kind of curious what that... Like, is that seriously for, like, evading or parrying? Kind of curious now. I came in here for another reason, though. Where was it? It was something to do with, like, when the HUD appears and disappears. I know there's a setting for that. Oh, here it is. Default HUD display settings. Semi-off is HUD is displayed only when necessary. So we can turn it on permanently, which, given that it gives you, like, controller input indicators in some places, like reminders, I think for starters I should probably do that. Okay, so now, yeah, now the HUD is bigger. Possibly too big. The thing is, like, the number in the top right is really freaking tiny, even at large HUD size. The stuff in the bottom left definitely doesn't need to be that big. So, like, I kind of wish that they just, like, increase the size of the top right, your soul count. But anyway, I can already hold 4 of these. Oh, they don't restore that much, though, I guess. And they don't seem to stop you for too long, either. Alright, so now I can grab these, right? Yep, and now we have 4 of them again. And, like, that's another thing, too, is, like, it would be helpful to be able to see how many you have. Alright, I might actually turn the... I keep pressing the wrong button. I might turn the HUD size back down to... medium. Wait. Yeah, okay, no, it definitely... It's just showing you what you changed since the last time you were in the menu. Okay, it's not showing you. And that's why there's reset setting to default. Why is there a full screen modal when it's only reset... It's only resetting the selected setting. Yeah, medium is the default. Okay. It's nice that they have that, but, like, they really want you to be sure, even if you're just resetting one thing. Like, that made me back out because I was paranoid that I was going to reset everything and not just one thing. So I was like, hold on, this shouldn't be a big deal. My memory usage is growing, so at some point I expect the game to crash. Deflect. Oh! Now they teach me this, now that I already fought, arrow launching dudes multiple times. You can deflect enemy attacks to significantly deplete enemy stamina. Arrows and other such ranged projectiles can also be deflected. Yeah, thanks. Why didn't you tell me that before we fought the bow and arrow shooter people? Genma. Things. Deflecting doesn't provide an opening for follow-up attacks like parries do, but makes up for it by rapidly pushing the enemy towards exhaust. Oh, so if you want to exhaust them rather than parry them. Yeah, this is adding lots and lots of options that I'm probably never going to fully utilize. It tells you that way up front. Okay. Oh, that was a chain. Okay. So yeah, actually, it's funny because, like, adding the frickin' input displays makes it feel like a QuickTime event, but that's basically what it is anyway. It's just whether it labels it or not. There's a thing up there. Yeah, so now they actually want me to deflect shit. Oh, too late. Late again. Alright, got that guy. Oh, they're not totally dead, though. Too late. Whoops. It is funny how they will laugh when you fuck it up, which I am doing a lot. That didn't count as a deflect, what? Ow. Really, dude? I'm actually doing it, like, even in the times where I'm, like, guarding but not deflecting, I'm still doing it too late. Oh, hello. But yeah, these guys definitely take a while to attack, which, like, I saw people criticizing how long it takes enemies to attack you, too. But, like, that, I feel like I remember that kind of being a thing even in the old games, at least for, like, you know, the grunts. You know, the lowest tier Genma. Alright, I saw a shiny thing up somewhere, though, right? Can I meaningfully zoom the map in to the extent where, like, I can see individual paths? Yeah, actually, I probably can. Oh, hello. What's this? Oh, what? Okay, this is a cover shooter now. Oh, that's hilarious. If I had known I could do that, shit. Also, I can set shit on fire, apparently. Oh, my memory usage actually went down. So yeah, this game is definitely slightly better at memory consumption than the first game I tried to play tonight. That didn't turn out well. Because it just kept hogging memory until the OS killed it. I swear I saw a shiny thing before, and now I want to try to find it again. But also, where did I get in here from? Because that sure seems blocked. Oh. Did I actually... Yeah, you have to go around. Okay. And I keep pressing the wrong button, too. Yeah, well, because that's where we're actually going. But where I saw the shiny thing was over here. Here it is. Lesser Might Talisman. Increases health and stamina damage dealt to enemies for a short duration, as opposed to the other thing, which was defensive. Is that actually... Oh, those are consumable. Okay. And then there's also gradually restores health. So I thought that was going to be our main restoring item, but no. That is in addition to the stuff we have in our pouch. Spirit Mirror unlocked. Oh, this is a save point. You can use Spirit Mirrors to save your progress at any time. Additionally, making contact with the Spirit Mirror will restore your health completely. It doesn't say anything about resurrecting enemies, though, which, again, people expect this to be a Souls-like. It's not a Souls-like. Oh, that's an autosave. Okay. Oh, is it... Hang on. What was the other choice in here? There was the storehouse, which is probably what that box represents. This is halfway a Resident Evil game. You've got storage. And you can store extra hose... Oh, that's interesting, though. You can store Hozuki. Kind of confused, because it says left bumper and right bumper should switch, but I don't see it doing that. I also don't see it showing my Hozuki right now, so I don't actually know how you would stash Hozuki. It says replenish, it says send to storehouse, it says swap. But yeah, I don't know, because I see Hozuki at the bottom, and I'm just like, how would you get those into storage to begin with? That's what I don't understand. Maybe it'll explain that at some point. Alright, so what does our map look like now? We should be going this way. You were kind of blocking that most of the way. Ah, light flashes. It's like we're playing a game from 2009. Oh. We're doing Oni mode, aren't we? Oh, jeez. Wow. Harsh. I mean, she's got a point. Great, we've got a selectively active gauntlet lady. I don't know, like, the character interactions seem, like, just not right for the Onimusha series either. It's like, great, so we play a cranky guy who got stuck with the Oni Gauntlet, and the Oni Gauntlet talks, but only when it has energy to talk, which is not often. Although, what's funny about that is I immediately think of the Leela shell in East 10. Because we were using that to communicate with someone, but we often couldn't. Right, that's where we just came. I mean, I guess we can save again to not be before the cutscene, but... But yeah, like, this game is not selling me on being an Onimusha game at all. Like, it's not the level of bad that DMC with a lowercase m was. That was fucking abominable. That basically just shat all over the Devil May Cry series. I don't think this is at the level of shitting all over the Onimusha series, but it is decidedly not an Onimusha game, and I definitely don't like our protagonist right now, and I don't like that they made the Gauntlet talk. Neither of those seem necessary. Onimusha games should not have jerk protagonists, although again, Jean Reno was probably close. I mean, Jean Reno was like an unwilling protagonist in the third game also. But also he's Jean Reno, so it's like, you know, what do you expect? He hasn't got time for this shit. He has to be cool and stuff. This guy doesn't seem cool. He just seems, you know, like he's not getting paid enough for this shit, which I mean, to an extent, relatable, but he's certainly no Samanosuke Akechi or Soki from Samanosuke, of course, from the first 3 games, Soki from the 4th. Oh, it's actually, like, pulsing. It's doing a very faint vibration on the controller periodically, too. Use Oni Vision to make visible that which is hidden to human eyes. The Oni Gauntlet will glow brightly when hidden objects are nearby. This is a thing that's been in multiple games. I'm pretty sure I saw it pointed out that this is in either Sekiro or Ghost of Tsushima. It's also in East 9. I'm sure there's plenty of other things that I'm not remembering that it was also in. But yeah, so this is just like, it feels like they had a bunch of executives and a dartboard in a room, and they were just like, there, we're gonna put that feature in the game. And all the actual game designers are like, you guys are, what What the fuck are you guys snorting in there? Don't worry about it. This is what we're gonna put in the game. And we're gonna make it look like a Souls-like and be sluggish like a Souls-like, but it's not really a Souls-like. So I didn't pay attention to what the fucking button was for that. Now I have to go check. It's not... Oh, it's probably an Onimusha powers. Yeah, here it is. Left trigger and right trigger. Oh, right. And that showed something. What the heck is that? This thing is making the threads. Alright, just slash it and it dies. That was unexpectedly easy. That just seems like it doesn't need to exist. I'm sure it'll be a little more, you know, elaborate in later instances, because that's really just the tutorialization instance. What is that? Is that more threads? I don't know. Nothing's pulsing. Nothing is tracing anything. What's over here? Another mild restorative. I'm still baffled that I tested this game twice before stream, and it didn't... It glitched, like, all over the place, and now it's fine. I pressed the wrong button. You guys knew. Oh, he's climbing out of the way. Nice. I think he missed with that. Ow. I thought I could get him before he would get me. I was wrong. Yeah, he was almost dead. And still I have full health. So, like, yeah, I get what people mean about this feeling easy. Because, like, I thought people were shitting on it because they expected a Souls-like, but no, it is extremely forgiving right now. But, I mean, to a certain extent, I agree with the people who, you know, replied to that with Onimusha games tend to have a difficulty curve as you go through the game. Because I definitely remember late-game Onimusha games being a lot harder. So it's like, and, you know, there are bits and pieces here where I see some of the aesthetics here, and I do think of, like, you know, modern Resident Evil games, or even Devil May Cry 5, and it's like, yeah, there are very short glimpses of what I would have liked to have seen in a modern Onimusha game based on the RE engine, but this is not it. At all. This does not feel right. Maybe this will feel right to some Souls-like enjoyer, but given that Souls-like enjoyers also didn't seem to be enjoying this, because it's not a Souls-like, don't make it feel like one if it isn't one. And also, the ones that this would seem to want to take after, I would think move a little faster than this one does. Blade barrages. Crossing swords with the enemy will initiate a blade barrage. To break it, you'll need to execute a different attack to the enemy. Forging ahead with the same move... Yeah, I've already seen that. To break a blade barrage, you'll need to initiate a different attack than the one with which you started. Yeah, I already... So, when they first queued you to use the heavy attack, it was against an enemy that was constantly attacking with a light attack. So I kind of basically got this impression from that, and now this is setting that in stone now. Oh no, but it's actually a dedicated thing. Okay, I stand corrected. It's not quite the same thing. That actually started like a mini cutscene kind of thing. Too late. Wait. I'm always too late. It's like you have to react to the sound, not to the visual. If you react to the visual, you're too late. What the hell are you? You're dead. This is another game, too, where I have to get used to enemy death animations because I, like, am not convinced they're dead until they actually fall over, and they take a long time to fall over. The Blade Barrage is honestly one of the easier techniques to get used to, or easier gimmicks. That's all of them? I thought I still had one left. I guess I forgot about the one the wheelbarrow took out. I wonder if you were supposed to be able to take out more than one with that. I missed the box. I still almost missed the box. Nice sound on that one. What's the map look like right now? The map is a little bit low contrast in areas like this. Wait, can I open this? No. Is that a thing in there? Oh, I can go in that way. It's almost weird having the, like, the soul-sucking mechanic in this. What a pain in my arse, really. I guess we're going for Brit English, then. It's almost weird having the souls mechanic in this, because it feels like you're always just attacking one or two enemies at a time. Like, the rhythm feels very weird. Minor miracle cure. Cures and briefly prevents the effects of burning and oil-soaked... Oh, we've got status ailments now. Okay, that's new. This is how you switch item? I guess it's that one? Yeah, okay. Somehow that has a higher cap than the other ones. Oh, that's just a candle. Okay. Does that mean we're about to get burned? Okay, so that was the item that I had seen in there. Real talk, like, this feels like the kind of environment that one or two of the early stages in Dawn of Dreams had you navigate. But it definitely does feel completely different in this, given just the overall, like, weather going on and everything. Like, it's very dark here. Whereas it's pretty bright in Dawn of Dreams, and Dawn of Dreams always has a music track in the background. Yeah, I was gonna say I need to look for a thing here, right? I assume that's going over here somewhere. But yeah, something about just how long individual attacks take versus... Like, there's already a long, awkward pause on that, and then you have to wait for the guy to fall over, and then you get the souls. Which, I mean, I guess there was always, like, a despawning. Oh, now we're getting the... Oh, it's there. How the hell do I get up there, though? Oh, it's literally... That wasn't there before, right? Please tell me that wasn't literally there and I ignored it. Because I think I would have heard it as well as saw it. Like, did that seriously just spawn when I approached this direction? Oh, there's multiple of them this time, are there? This is what I was expecting, that, like, eventually you would have to, like, go on an Easter egg hunt. Is the other one, like, around the back of that? When I said to go around the back, I thought he meant, you know, of that. No, he meant of this, probably. Or perhaps both. I feel like I'm already hearing it, but it should be this way, and that's not where I thought I was hearing it from. Oh yeah, it's going that far. Jeez. Guys are very busy. This guy got up very early in the morning. Okay, no, he was talking about the other one. Because he's given a different little bit of narration for this one. Wait. Oh. Did that automatically go to the storage box? Is that how that works? Like, is that what that icon on the right means? Because he still took it, even though I don't have capacity for it. I had assumed that if you didn't have capacity, you just wouldn't be allowed to take it. So yeah, that's also different than a Souls-like, because with Souls-likes, typically, like, your standard consumable healing item gets refilled when you go to, you know, the bonfire or equivalent. That's a lot of Hozuki, holy shit. I think they're giving me this for a reason. Oh. Surprise attacks. Just don't move too quickly. I might have already blown it. Oh, I did one of those earlier, actually. I did one of those earlier, and I wasn't even, like, trying. I wasn't even going slow or anything. I think I just didn't give them any opportunity to do anything. And now this is reminding me of another setting in, there was a stage that was just, like, entirely a series of rooms like this in, I think in Dawn of Dreams also. It might have been in 3, but I'm pretty sure it was in Dawn of Dreams. So, like, they... Oh! Didn't even realize. That was a dude. Alright, whatever. I was just looking at the shiny thing. I wasn't looking at the dude right next to it. This is why the button inputs... I mean, you could argue it makes it too easy. So, like, arguably that is in itself a difficulty knob, is whether you turn the button displays on or off, which they were off by default. I turned it on. Just to see if it would make things more clear to me. Huh. Break lock, it says, and then he runs in a different direction. That's a lot of you. Yeah, wait, they're under attack? Oh, interesting that you can bounce between enemies really quickly like that, just by, like, inputting a direction. Oh, he's on fire. I'm not sure why I'm not on fire. I am on fire. Never mind. I am. Dealing with fire. Here you go. What to do when you are on fire. Evade repeatedly. Okay. And remember, I can actually move while I'm absorbing, which I still think is broken as hell. Real talk, here's another thing. So first of all, I first objected to the Oni Gauntlet talking to you. The enemies are also talking to you. Like, that's not a thing with normal Grunt Genma in other Onimusha games. They don't talk. This was like when I caught Corporate Gamer playing part of the Halo Infinite campaign, and I was like, why are all of the dudes clearly talking with subtitles? And it's like, to be fair, I hadn't played the majority of the Halo series yet at that point. So it's like, yeah, actually a lot of them do talk. But it still felt like they were more intelligible than the series initially intended them to be. And the fact that these guys are actually talking is really weird. I mean, these Tasmanian devil lizard guys almost sound to me like the enemies in Quake 4, which are talking like another language. They're talking Strog, I guess, but like they have like that weird chorus effect going on with their voice and everything. I'm pressing B. Nothing's happening. I feel like I've been lied to. Okay, just run over your buddy. That's cool. Oh, or that. I actually did that with good enough timing that it hit him before he hit me. Oh, there go the other walls. Oh, shit. He had the same idea. Alright, you're dead. Wait. I don't want to be on fire. Another dude in here. I'm in a really bad place here. Like, the camera was not doing me any favors there. He was further out than I thought he was. But yeah, the fact that I'm still at 3/4 health. Oh, he fucking stabs it like he's gonna eat it like a sandwich or something? Come on. I fail to believe that somebody of the era that these games take place in would really do that. But I guess anything in a pinch. It's like this guy is some kind of fucking cowboy or something. It's like, that's not what an Onimusha protagonist should be. Okay, can't go through there. Yeah, so I don't even know where I was, like, headed to, where the thing was supposed to exist. Can I see it from out here? Yes, I can. Okay, so it should be on the other side. But yeah, it's like, oh yeah, you can still see it going. Which direction did I come from at this point, actually? That should be the direction I came from, so I should be looking on this side. Okay, we sidling. Because, you know, everyone knows that's the most exciting possible game mechanic. Are we still... There he is, I guess. Okay, but this seems like something... Well, is something bad gonna happen, or is something good gonna happen? Well, that was a pain, but we get a box! The two Celestials, a pair of blades forged by Oni craftsmen. They extract yellow souls from those they strike down. So you get even more health from them? As if this game weren't already easy enough. Press right bumper when the Oni power gauge is sufficiently filled. Oni armaments deplete the Oni power gauge in order to unleash special attacks. For example, the two Celestials will actually... Oh, so it's not a... I was thinking we were getting a dedicated weapon, because, like, I'm pretty sure... Was it Onimusha 3 where you had 3 different swords? Or something. And then, of course, Onimusha Dawn of Dreams had, like, just progressive equipment that you would obtain throughout the game. It's actually kind of funny. It's almost like Onimusha 3 was E6, and then Onimusha Dawn of Dreams was like E7 or Memories of Celceta or 8. In terms of, I mean, obviously I've got that backwards because Onimusha came out first, I think. Although I think, like, what year did Dawn of Dreams come out? Was that 2004 or was that later than that? Because, like, Dawn of Dreams may have come out after E6. Barely, at least in Japan. But I think the earlier games might have beat it. So is the Oni power gauge the red one? Oni no kote to fuiniki ga niten da. Oni no buki ka. Alright, well, we did the thing, so I guess we go back now. And we gotta do this again. Is there gonna be a surprise waiting for us on the other side? I guess that might have been a convenient loading transition. No, there is something waiting for us. Hi, who are you? He's got Soul Edge. Wait, is he one of those leech zombies from Resident Evil 0? He doesn't have a life meter. Although, now that I think about it, I don't remember if bosses in Onimusha games tended to have life meters. Oh, jeez. Blue souls. Absorbing blue souls will fill the... Oh, okay. That's the Oni power gauge. Enabling you to use Oni armaments. Blue souls appear when you land attacks on enemies, and more will appear the lower the... So, this only just unlocked now. I still don't know what the red meter was, unless that's my own, like, stamina or something. Like, avoiding... like, preventing the player from blocking too much. Oh, got greedy. Actually, no, my red gauge is not full now. Oh, I'm actually almost dead. I pressed the wrong button. Ah, I'm attacking at all the wrong times. Oh my god. Well, there's our first death. And yeah, that basically feels like... That feels like a Souls-like in terms of you need to, like, learn to judge when to attack and when not to. Let's see where it retries us. Right there, okay. And the thing is, like, the icons kind of hint to you when, like, when you need to pay attention. Okay, that hurt me for some reason. Oh, there, yep, that emptied the gauge, that's why. Okay, so that is what it is. You can only block a certain amount. Okay, that went a lot faster than I expected it to, given what happened last time. I'm assuming that wasn't a boss or anything, that's just a regular-ass enemy that we're gonna end up seeing more of. Am I even going the right way now? I think so. Have I been in here? Oh, yeah, okay. They're actually... Wait, no, we haven't been in here. Lesser soul crystal... crystallized Genma souls. It just causes souls to materialize. Okay. Sure. I see. So the meter, I'm actually kind of blocking it on the right-hand side of the screen where my where my webcam is now. It's been so long that I don't exactly remember how Oni Arts worked in the previous games, but I feel like it wasn't just a, you know, all or nothing one and done. I feel like you had, like, it used specific amounts of Oni Arts. Or rather, of the, you know, of the SP gauge or whatever. Is this not where I was before? Or did they actually interior redecorate since I was last here? No, that was the part I was in before, I'm pretty sure. But there's new dudes in here. Oh, what? I bonked into the doorway. I was not expecting them to just, like, slice through the doorway. I guess I should have expected that. Okay, cool. I didn't get to see any of that. Thanks, camera. It's amazing how the one thing that they have successfully replicated from the old Onimusha games is having wonky camera bullshit that you would consider to be PS2 era. Alright. Where are we going? Over there. Yeah, wait. Is that where I came from? Are we not allowed to go back that way now? So they're reforming the terrain? Forced me to take different paths? It seemed like it showed another path over here somewhere, but... Oh, wait, this... Okay, this is the path. Oh. That's a boss. Whoa. Did not expect it to be able to jump like that. Yeah, I don't think I stand a chance against that. But, yeah, maybe that's what we had to fight at the end of the demo. Countering grabs? Oh, jeez. Press B just before grab lands. Grabs cannot be blocked or parried, but you can perform a grab reversal by dodging. Part of the enemy will glow blue before they attempt a grab. Oh, that's a pretty big... That wasn't a grab. That seems like a pretty jerk move to me. Part of the enemy will glow blue right before they perform a grab. Meanwhile, an enemy proceeds to have all blue attacks that are not grabs immediately after that message. Yeah, great idea there, guys. Can I open this? Oh, we just had our Aragorn moment. Okay. This is where I was before, though, right? Other stuff that I should be discovering out here? Like that? And also that? Okay, yeah, that was the other side of the path. What about this? That barrel is sword-proof. A nice jump. I am still amazed that this game is actually cooperating for me now, when it totally didn't twice earlier tonight, so I thought I wouldn't be able to play it. But yeah, it's, like... Obviously, I already fully do not intend to buy this because I do not buy games that have Denuvo and treat their consumers like criminals. But also, like, this is not selling me on an Onimusha game at all, which is disappointing because, I mean, disappointing, but I guess also not surprising because I never expected to get a new Onimusha game to begin with. Disappointing because now they're giving us one, but it's not at all an Onimusha game, arguably. Alright. I keep looking at the map again, because I'm like, where the hell am I going? I kind of wish they would have a mini-map somewhere on the HUD. That way. I don't know if there's actually more stuff to do out here now, too. That looks like a save point. Okay, good. Which means we're probably getting to the boss fight, like, right now. So here's the question. Are there 2 stored Hozuki now? Anything you cannot carry will be sent to your storehouse. Access it using a spirit mirror. Yeah, okay. So that's what I discovered, like, by accident. There's 3 in storage, actually. So there's the button to replenish all. But I don't see a way of actually... Like, hang on a second. Oh, I do have 4 now. When did I get I used up my, like, at least 2 Hozuki earlier, and somehow I have 4 again. Unless I had even more banked and it automatically replenished them, but if it replenishes them at a storehouse anyway, then what's the point of storing them? Because that's, like, literally the only way I can fathom that working. But maybe I stored more than I thought I did. That's right. We did come across, like, an entire set of, like, 4 almost that I stored before. I'm forgetting how many of them I stored, so I think it did just automatically refill it from there. Which is slightly unfortunate in that you can't tell it not to do that. Like, if you would rather keep it in storage, that is not an option. We're getting, like, monochrome here or something. There is a vignette setting that I think is applying right now, because, like, things are getting, like, faded out. Yeah, now things are faded back in. But it was, like, faded out at the edges, too. Alright, it's really unfortunate that there's, like, literally no music in this. I should take a break before we take on the boss, but I guess we'll take on the boss, and I guess we're actually maybe finishing this demo tonight, which I didn't expect to even play in the first place. Oops, bonus content. I'm still not sure I'll actually post this, because, like I said, I came into it not even expecting it to work, but, it's been the most successful demo of the night, which I did not expect. Anyway, I'll give us some music in the meantime, and I will be right back. Okay, we're back. I was going almost the exact length of that song, so if that works. And that's it. Alright, let's get back into it then. And see if we can... I think we're right at the end of the demo here. Actually, what's interesting, though, is look at how much stuff is, like, behind the big stage, but I don't know if we'll have an opportunity to check that out or not. Alright. Oh, one thing I wanted to check first Yes, the map is the only game menu we're actually allowed to get to in the demo. I wanted to look at the tips menu again. The blazing state. Okay, so that just makes you deal greater damage if that's filled. And that's from parrying. And then reflex dodges give you reflex, let you unleash a reflex combo. Honestly, not sure how often I've gotten either of those. I would be surprised if the answer wasn't 0. Oh, it's another shadow thingy. Expect another soliloquy from the lady that doesn't want to be called the lady. Oh. Not who I expected. That's louder. Wait, there's 2 of them? Alright, so this is what I object to. They're way faster than we are. Like, they move the way that you should move in an Onimusha game. Okay. So, need to stop for a second, because remember how I was saying before how, like, when we first got into, like, the village area and there were a bunch of peasants or whatever, and it was like, and I was saying, this is totally not what I would expect from an Onimusha game. Like, it's just a totally different vibe entirely. This is the first enemy, the first character of any sort we have encountered that feels like a fucking Onimusha game. Now we're fucking talking. Like, go back to Dawn of Dreams and look at Muninori. If you remember one thing from playing Dawn of Dreams in English, you remember when Muninori, like, ingests the Genma insects or whatever to become stronger, and he says, "I feel fantastic!" And it's like, I tried to imitate how ridiculous the line sounded. Like, as soon as I saw this character, I was like, this is Muninori, except 1 sword, not 2. Let's see, though, because I don't have high hopes of survivability here, given that I feel really sluggish in this game, and this character we're playing against seems way faster. Like I said, that's the kind of speed you expect in a Onimusha game to a certain extent. One too many attacks. That didn't work. Ow. Jesus Christ. I should have healed. Oh, I should have fucking... I didn't realize it was into the frickin'... I pressed every wrong button. So this is the rival, apparently, that they were talking about. I gotta remember you can lock on. Oh, I don't know how that actually blocked. I swear I blocked that, but it didn't seem to give it to me. Okay. Oh, I don't have any frickin' meter. That was the wrong button. I thought I had full meter, but I don't have full meter anymore. I did before. Yeah, so you can get the first 2 jabs, but then the third one just goes through it. I probably ran out of stamina, though. So yeah, all of a sudden, like, this fight feels more like the bigger enemy fights feel arguably more like what you might expect from a Souls-like. Of course, I have played exactly 0 Souls-likes because they're not my cup of tea, so I can't really be a good judge of that. Okay, it did tell you to dodge that. I told you to block that. What? I've never seen it give me an X prompt before. I'm trying to heal, and it's not giving me the heal. Yeah, whatever. I was pressing up. I don't know how neutral you have to be to heal. Because earlier, I was surprised once or twice when I actually did get a heal in. Well, every time I think I can attack and I can't. So, yeah, I dodged and that didn't work. It does feel bad when, like, you press what the game said to press and it doesn't do what the game, you know, seemed to insinuate it would. Oh, he lost his hat. Oh. Oh. I pressed the fucking button. Oh, wow. Nope. I'm never ready for it to start that. And it's also weird that it did start that because I think I pressed dodge. I didn't even press like a sword button or... I did not press parry, I did not press attack. And that looked like a parry. Unless it was a grab counter. Which I also would not have expected. Oh, okay, interesting. Oh, now I'm just getting greedy. Apparently I was too greedy again. No, this is not a good attempt. What is this? Break Isen and bosses. Use left stick to select a target area, then press X or Y. You can target specific areas. Colors indicate effects. Red indicates extra damage. Purple means plenty of souls. Wrong button. Oh, that was a grab. Okay. Ow. Oh, I was too late. Come on. Okay. Yeah, name of the game is really just being patient and learning from your mistakes, which, I mean, I suppose isn't too unlike a Souls-like, but I imagine that was also much more forgiving than a Souls-like would be. Thank you for playing the demo all the way through to the end. You can save your demo completion data at a slot of your choosing. We didn't get to fight the big thing, though. I thought we were gonna fight the big thing, but no, we fought Ganryu, our rival, instead. Thank you for playing. Full game releases Friday, September 25th, 2026. And I'm not buying it. Because, one, it's going to have Denuvo, and fuck that noise. And two, yeah, this isn't an Onimusha game. It's really weird, you know, going back to what I said at the beginning. It's not an Onimusha game, and it's not a Souls-like. It is neither of those things, but it is claiming to be both of those things, because the title is literally Onimusha, and, like, aesthetically and in terms of, like, the combat design, it feels like it has Souls-like written all over it. It just doesn't have the, like, the mechanics in terms of, like, you know, save points, bringing back enemies from the dead, you know, resetting them, and it doesn't have, like, the sheer unforgiving nature of a Souls-like. It is much more forgiving than one. So, like, from that perspective, you know, this could be baby's first not really a Souls-like, potentially, but it's not an Onimusha game. Like, this is not enjoyable as that. There were glimpses in there where I was like, oh, this feels like, yeah, this feels like they took a setting that you would have seen in Onimusha Dawn of Dreams and made it much more drab and moody and put it into the Resident Evil, the RE engine. But it's like, that feels like a waste of potential to me. And, like, again, for anyone who didn't see the beginning, like, the backdrop of me playing this is, even though I know full well I have no intentions of buying it until Halley's Comet cruises the galaxy and Capcom realizes, oh, maybe if we remove DRM from our games, more people will actually buy it, because people don't enjoy being treated like criminals when they legitimately buy video games. And that's what DRM does. But no, Capcom has had their heads up their asses for multiple years. Really over half a decade at this point. And it's only getting further up their ass, given that they've added DRM to old games that didn't have it before, like the Onimusha remaster of the first game. But yeah, so I never had an intention of buying this anyway for that reason, but I was still interested because back when I played Devil May Cry 5 in 2020, my reaction at the end of that game, or during it even, was like, this is so cool that they made a Devil May Cry that is, like, very faithfully enough feels like a Devil May Cry game. Um, in the RE engine. Imagine what they could do if they faithfully recreated, or, created a new Onimusha that faithfully recreates the spirit of Onimusha games in the RE engine. So, like, I was holding out for that since 2020, since I played DMC5. Um, this is an Onimusha game on the RE engine, but it's also not an Onimusha game. So it falls extremely far short of what I would have actually wanted out of it. So even just on that ground alone, I can't really say I'm sold on it, unfortunately. So like I don't feel like I'm missing much by not buying this for many years because it has Denuvo in it, and I'm not going to buy something just to be treated like I didn't. Um. So yeah. But hey, I'm surprised I even got to play it because it was flaking out on me big time. Like in the very first area, like half of the scenery would just like immediately glitch, pop in and out. It was almost like draw distance evaluation bugs or something. I don't know. But somehow it worked now, so I actually got to play it, which is more than I anticipated doing. So cool, I got to play the demo of it. I survived the demo of it, which tells you it's definitely not a Souls-like, because I would not have survived the demo if it were a Souls-like. So yeah, this is not completely out of my league, judging by how forgiving the demo was. They give you a lot of tools to use. And I definitely feel like I did not maximize my use of all of them, especially like the parrying and the parry and like the reflex and blaze meters. I don't even know if I ever made use of those. So yeah, this game probably not for me in the long run, and I'm disappointed that they've decided to take Onimusha in a direction that is like just decidedly not what I'm interested in. When I really thought Dawn of Dreams was cool. I know some people don't like Dawn of Dreams because it already felt like it was sort of taking the series in a different direction a little bit. But I liked the exploration elements of that, too. I like the music, I like the visuals. The variety of characters you had access to was kind of neat. Um, it felt like Onimusha Dawn of Dreams basically came back and did right what Onimusha 2 did wrong, because I did not appreciate Onimusha 2 at all. But I also, like, couldn't be arsed to do the whole, like, friend system thing or whatever, where you give dudes gifts and then that changes the trajectory of your route, apparently. I wasn't about to science that out. 1 and 3 were fine. But yeah, like, this is less of a straightforward action game, and yeah, the combat is just way more like slow and measured and laborious than an Onimusha game usually is, and I think that's weird, especially when arguably some of the games that this would have even taken inspiration from, like Sekiro, I think tend to have like faster action. Maybe I'm overestimating that. And it's like when you do actually pull off some of the, like the Esens and stuff, like they did still at least somewhat preserve, like, that has like the full screen flash, and you're kind of like zipping all over the place and stuff. I seem to recall that, like, I remember seeing at least one person complain even about the Esens, that like there's the full, like, cleave animation, basically, where like in the early Onimusha games you wouldn't even have that. It would just be like you did an Esen, the enemy is just fucking insta vaporized, which in itself is satisfying. So like, yeah, I know, I totally get where people are coming from with that, and that's where I talk about the original Onimusha games were way more fast paced, seemed more fast paced than this. There were still, like, I guess there were probably still bits um of the action that were, like, slower paced than I'm giving them credit for right now. Let me see if I could actually find, because like I said, I never re-uploaded my Onimusha playthroughs. Honestly, I should call it really soon. I'm going, like, really late tonight. If I do this, yeah, here we go. Let me just like fast forward to somewhere that has actual action. So like if you've never seen an Onimusha game before, you can see what Onimusha game action actually looks like. And so the interesting thing is like this is Onimusha 3. Onimusha 3 is where I feel like they actually upped the ante and Onimusha really started gaining its own identity because definitely the first Onimusha game, and I think it was the first two, were very clear in their Resident Evil origins, and meaning the engine was based on it, because like even just the move, like you still had tank controls and shit. Like one of the things that the Onimusha HD remaster did was gave you the option for not tank controls, which was nice. It's too bad they added Denuvo. I don't remember if it was a Denuvo or Enigma DRM, but it's too bad they added DRM to it, like literally last year or something, when the game didn't have DRM for the first 5 years it existed in the HD form. Why would you fucking do that? But anyway, so the third game is where the game really came into its own. No more tank controls, actually, like, feels like a bona fide action game. So look at how fast the sword slicing is in this. And even look at how fast the enemies move. Like, this is where people were criticizing, like, how the enemies just, like, stand around and don't do anything for forever. Like, yeah, these guys at least move and shit. Although, I mean, I guess to be fair, in this early portion, they actually have other targets.
Wait, those guys are enemies too. I those are my guys. No, those are these guys. I need to block at the right time.
Alright, and you got the frickin', like, ninja dudes with the frickin' beam eyes and everything. But yeah, like, you cut through them like butter, basically.
I can't move the camera, though. That is still, unfortunately, not a thing.
Like, even when you're fighting, like, bigger things, you're still, like, your slices are still fast.
That was close.
I wonder if I'll see myself use a, I don't know if I had, like, the Oni arts at this point yet, in terms of, like, special attacks, or if that was later. Let's skip ahead again. So now you can see, okay, yeah, now we're Jean Reno.
Oh, that was dumb.
And he's got a different weapon. Oh yeah, and you could jump in Onimusha 3. See, I wasn't making it up. Well, some of the games had jumping in it.
He was doing there. All right, that's fine. It just engaged Onimusha mode, and that killed him.
Right, I forgot. If you have full Oni gauge and you were going to die, it actually initiates Oni mode in Onimusha 3. And he just sneezed on. He just yelled at the guy and he fell over. You had puzzles and stuff too. Yeah, so you still had you still had the gauntlet mechanic. Now he's got a totally different type of weapon. Oh right, and because he's Jean Reno, he can just frickin' stand over the dude and shoot him to death.
At least it seems very unlikely with how it specifically targets.
Like, look at this. Look at how much faster the attacks are. And how much faster enemies fall over, too, so I'm not left guessing, oh, are they dead yet? So, yeah, like, it was very different. Let me see if I can pull up something from Dawn of Dreams. Maybe even a part that, like, was...
All right.
Maybe even a part that I was being reminded of in terms of, like, scenery. Yeah, so, like, even in the beginning...
akin to, like, I don't know, Resident Evil 4 or something, in terms of it being very much more behind the character.
So yeah, you've got like the the destroyed village and everything, and you do have you do have like the dark sky and everything, but like the lighting in the actual village is much brighter and like more colorful, and like you could argue that like well the drabness is actually more convincing in the new Onimusha, but it also is way less interesting looking. Like, this still conveys that kind of scene. And look at the big guy freaking walking around in the background. You get to fight that guy. That's why I was expecting to fight a big guy in this demo. We didn't get to fight a big guy in this demo. We saw the big guy in this demo. But he jumped off and he was like, aha, nope.
So you better be sure you want to do it.
Now, the thing with Soki, like, the characters in this game actually, like, feel a little bit different to play, because they have different styles of attacks. And Soki even feels a little bit stiff. Jubei is really, like, the more flexible-feeling character.
I'm pretty sure this has special attacks.
But I think she also has, like,
hold
shorter
forward at the
weapon
same time
range,
that you
typically.
attack. Yeah. Oh, he's dead.
There's your Isen in, one of the older Onimusha games.
Wait, you're not dead?
Oh yeah, and you had freaking experience in leveling up in Onimusha 4, in Dawn of Dreams.
Wait, what are you doing, dude? Live on through me. And this one goes.
Oh yeah, you had like a whole ton of like hub menus in between stages, and you could actually revisit stages in this one. That's what I was talking about before, where like you had access to more characters at different times later, and there were some things you could only access, like that, for instance. I don't know. That's one thing they don't really give any indication of. Like, the one cool thing in that demo of the new Onimusha game was that there was, like, actual, like, they changed things up when you thought you would be backtracking. So that was kind of interesting. But, I mean, that entire demo was completely linear. So I don't know how open-worldish it's going to be, if at all. Not that any of the old games were either, but, like, when you see something that presents itself almost like a Souls-like, you're gonna expect some degree of open-worldedness, potentially. And I don't know if the new Onimusha game's actually gonna give you that. But yeah, like, we're on the rooftops and stuff here. But yeah, like, I don't know if there would be any kind of, like, you know, Metroidvania-esque backtracking, you know, like, progression leading to warranting backtracking in the new game or not. Because, like I said, that was actually something that I thought was neat about this one. I'm sure it probably pissed some people off, like, what is this doing in my Onimusha game? It should just be linear. So, I don't know which way they're going for the new one.
I appear to be on fire.
This is very interesting, but also kind of spoiler territory, so I won't... Oh, wait. Are we... There we go, we are controlling Juba here.
Right, because I went all the way around, I forgot.
Maybe I could change... I forgot if you could change characters at will, in terms of who you're controlling, or if that came later. I was hoping that I would accidentally cut to the right point where she's, like, crossing the beams, but, like, this was revisiting the earlier level. But yeah, so, like, I don't know. The earlier games were just, like, way more visually interesting to me. Like, I expected at least the visuals to be more interesting in the new one, given it's the frickin' RE engine and everything, and you should be capitalizing on that. And, like, it didn't look bad, but it didn't look nearly as interesting as I expected.
Alright, hello, everybody.
I was hoping to find a later area that looks relatively
Last time we streamed this.
This the area I'm thinking of? Well, no, but this is another good one. You got, like, lanterns and shit. Like, do stuff like this. I hope they do stuff like this in the new one. This is the stage I was thinking of.
Oh god, the ghosts are respawning too. What exactly is happening here?
Oh yeah, I hate those guys. Those guys are frickin' annoying as hell. But yeah, this is just like a series of rooms, and it was actually like some kind of puzzle or something.
I didn't know there was a room there.
But this is what I thought of with the series of interior rooms.
So the room is here.
This is the level I'm thinking of. Can we go further back? Yeah, this place. Like, look at this. This is so freaking cool. You're like going along these like semi-destroyed rooftops and shit, and the sky looks cool too. Like, everything about this looks cool.
I'm pretty sure.
Like, give me stuff like that in the new one. I mean, obviously, we did have signs of destruction in the town in the new game.
Oh, I didn't realize we're supposed to grapple that direction.
But, right, yeah, so her thing was she could grapple... She could use grapple points. That was Ohatsu's gimmick. That was her movement tech. So, like, right there. That gives her access to specific areas. Like, yeah, this game was so interesting to me, and visually it was pretty interesting to me as well. So, like, when I played DMC5 and, you know, was pretty blown away by it and was like, if this is what they can do on the RE engine for Devil May Cry, I want to see what they can do for Onimusha. I was thinking in pretty much a completely different direction than what we actually got. So, I'm kind of disappointed about that. So, I mean, let's look at what kinds of screenshots we have here. A lot of them are highlighting combat. Like, see, this is still like very like dark scenery. There's the jerk we just fought at the end. Dark scenery, dark scenery, dark scenery. That looks kind of neat. Can we actually get like up there and stuff? That would be cool. There are a lot of videos on this one, surprisingly. Why are there this many videos? Dark scenery. I mean, it's different, but it's dark scenery. Actually, this room reminds me of something in one of the first two Onimushas, I think. That looks kind of interesting. This is where we saw in the demo. That's very dark. And like, so that's the thing. A lot of the scenery just looks like more like a Resident Evil game than an Onimusha game in terms of... I mean, that's even selling Resident Evil short, because Resident Evil usually have, like, actual, like, mansions and shit that are pretty interesting to look at in themselves. But yeah, like, nothing here... Because, I guess it's largely... You could largely chalk it up to the lighting in a lot of these cases. Like, everything almost comes off as monochromatic with a different, you know, tone to it. Like, that's red. The area I was in for most of the demo was green, so on and so forth. And it's like, I mean, let's go look at Sekiro for a second and just look at the screenshots there. It's like, I feel like when I've seen people play Sekiro... Yeah, look at this. Like this. I feel like part, you know, when I commented at one specific point where I was like, oh, look, there's some color. It's like they're trying to do a Sekiro thing, but like, I feel like even when the Onimusha demo tried to do basically this, it was still done to a much lesser extent than Sekiro does it. Jeez, this has a lot of freaking videos too, apparently. Okay. But like, that's just, it feels like Onimusha is like, it feels like Onimusha Way of the Sword, the new one, is trying to just pull ideas from many different places and not actually committing to any of them, and it's not going to make anybody happy because of that. Certainly it's not going to make me happy because it's lost its it has an identity crisis. It's not Onimusha anymore. So it's unfortunate, but that's what it is.